The cruelest thing my mother ever did was smile before humiliating me. At my brother Ryan and his bride Natalie wedding, she raised a glass, looked straight at me, and laughed that I might not have a husband or children, but I would always be useful because I never forgot my checkbook. The guests laughed with her. Ryan looked away. Natalie smiled without saying a word. In that moment, I realized the joke was not spontaneous. It was the final chapter of a story my family had been writing for years, one where I was never treated like a daughter or a sister. I was simply the person expected to pay whenever life became expensive. I built a successful logistics company while everyone around me leaned on my success. Ryan struggled through college, so I quietly paid his tuition. My mother, Victoria, always seemed to have another emergency, another overdue bill, another reason why only I could save the day. Every favor came wrapped in compliments about how responsible and dependable I was. I believed those words meant they appreciated me. Looking back, they were simply reminding themselves that I would never refuse another request. When Ryan and Natalie announced their engagement, my mother called asking if I could help with just a few wedding expenses. I agreed without hesitation. Those few favors quickly became nearly the entire celebration. I covered flowers, catering, invitations, decorations, lighting, and countless last-minute upgrades. Vendors stopped calling the bride because everyone had been told to contact me instead. Somehow I had become the silent sponsor of a wedding that barely remembered I existed. As the ceremony grew closer, small details began exposing an ugly truth. My invitation arrived weeks late. My seat was placed beside photographers and vendors instead of my relatives. The wedding program thanked sponsors, designers, and even the man donating wine, but my name appeared nowhere despite paying tens of thousands of dollars. Accidentally forwarded emails revealed that my mother had instructed the planner to leave me out because I supposedly preferred staying behind the scenes. It was not forgetfulness. It was deliberate erasure. Instead of arguing, I started saving everything. Every receipt, invoice, payment confirmation, and email went into carefully organized folders. Then I uncovered something even worse. Victoria had been telling Ryan and Natalie that an apartment legally owned by me would become their wedding gift. She was giving away property that was never hers to promise. That was the moment something inside me finally broke. I stopped trying to earn respect from people who only respected my bank account. I met Ryan hoping he would understand, but he simply shrugged and reminded me that family should help family. Hearing those words hurt because family only seemed to mean my sacrifices, never theirs. That afternoon, I called my attorney and froze every remaining payment connected to the wedding trust. Whatever had already been paid would stay paid, but not another dollar would leave my account. The wedding day arrived looking perfect from the outside. Elegant flowers lined the aisle, music filled the gardens, and guests admired a celebration they believed had come together effortlessly. Hardly anyone acknowledged me. Then came the speeches. My mother stood confidently with the microphone and repeated the same joke she had practiced for years. She announced that I might still be single, but at least I was always good for writing checks. The room burst into laughter while I calmly stood and walked toward the DJ. I accepted the microphone, waited until the laughter disappeared, and thanked my mother for finally telling the truth. Then I explained that the woman they had just mocked had funded most of the weddings surrounding them. I quietly informed everyone that every remaining payment had already been frozen and that all future invoices should be directed to the bride and groom. The ballroom fell completely silent. Smiles disappeared. No one laughed anymore because the truth had become too expensive. Without another word, I handed back the microphone and walked out of the venue. My phone exploded with calls, angry texts, desperate excuses, and last-minute apologies, but I ignored every one of them. By the following morning, vendors were contacting Ryan and Natalie directly, and for the first time, my family discovered what responsibility actually felt like when I was no longer carrying it. Months later, my business was thriving, my peace had returned, and the family that once treated me like a walking wallet had finally learned a lesson they could never forget. Money can build a beautiful wedding, but it cannot buy respect. The day I stopped acting like their checkbook was the day I finally became the author of my own life, and that ending was worth far more than every dollar I ever spent on people who never truly saw me.